A chicken with black bones. A pig wrapped in woolly fleece worth more than a luxury car. These sound like fables, yet they are real creatures, once forgotten and now making farmers wealthy. Today on Stella Eureka, we're uncovering 10 extraordinary farm animals, nearly lost to history, now transforming small farms into big business. And wait until you meet the four-horned sheep with roots in the Bible. The first is a bird so dark it seems carved from shadow. The Ayam Cemani chicken from Indonesia is completely black from its feathers and beak right down to its bones and organs. This mesmerizing all-black appearance is caused by a genetic trait called fibromelanosis, a mutation that causes an overproduction of melanin. For centuries, these birds were not raised for their meat or eggs, but were revered in Javanese culture as spiritual creatures, used in traditional rituals to bring good fortune and heal ailments. Their rarity and mystical reputation made them a status symbol among the elite. But as modern farming practices spread, the Ayam Cemani was pushed aside in favor of faster-growing, more conventional chicken breeds. By the late 20th century, they were incredibly scarce. A few dedicated breeders worked to preserve them, and their efforts paid off. This chicken has become one of the most expensive in the world. A single high-quality bird can sell for thousands of dollars, with some pairs fetching as much as $5,000. Their meat is considered a delicacy in gourmet circles, but their true value lies in their stunning, otherworldly beauty. From sacred symbol to luxury icon, the midnight black chicken has found its fortune. Yet value comes in many forms. Some breeds captivate with mystery, while others win hearts with storybook charm. Deep in the mountains of Switzerland lives an animal that looks like it walked straight out of a children's storybook. With fluffy white fleece, black face, and spiral horns, the Valais Blacknose sheep is often called the cutest sheep in the world. This gentle, good-natured breed has roamed the steep, rugged slopes of the Valais region for centuries, perfectly adapted to the harsh alpine climate. For generations, they were a source of wool and meat for local villagers, an essential part of life in the isolated mountain communities. As times changed, people nearly stopped raising the Valais Blacknose. Larger, more commercially viable sheep breeds became popular, and the numbers of these charming animals dwindled to just a few hundred. It took a passionate group of Swiss breeders to recognize that their unique appearance and friendly disposition were worth saving. They established a breed society in 1948 and began the slow process of rebuilding the population. Their efforts turned these sheep into a global success. The demand for Valais Blacknose sheep has exploded, with enthusiasts in the UK and New Zealand paying premium prices. A single breeding ewe can cost over $7,000, and a prize-winning ram can be worth more than $10,000. These storybook sheep have become a modern agricultural treasure, proof that preserving charm can create extraordinary value. And while charm made these sheep global icons, the spotlight soon shifted to a towering, shaggy giant. This was no ordinary donkey. Towering at 15 hands, the Poitou ranks among the world's largest, instantly recognizable by its thick, matted coat, known as a cadenet. For centuries, these gentle giants were the backbone of European agriculture, but not for the reasons you might think. They were living engines, bred for a single purpose, producing massive, powerful mules. When a Poitou donkey was bred with a Poitevin horse, the result was the Poitevin mule, a hybrid animal prized for its strength and endurance. These mules worked on farms, pulled barges, and even carried artillery for Napoleon's armies. The Poitou donkey was so valuable that breeders kept them protected in barns, rarely letting them work. But the arrival of tractors and trucks in the 20th century made the mules obsolete. The demand for Poitou donkeys collapsed and the breed was driven to the edge of extinction. By 1977, only 44 Poitou donkeys were left in the entire world. A rescue mission was launched by a group of breeders and conservationists. Their tireless work saved the breed. Today, a purebred Poitou donkey is a rare and precious animal. A foal can sell for several $1,000s, while a breeding pair can be worth over $50,000, a remarkable comeback for a breed nearly erased by the Industrial Revolution. But not every forgotten breed was a giant. On southern homesteads, a much smaller pig once thrived, perfectly adapted to family farms. The American Guinea hog was known as the homesteader's pig. It was gentle, easy to handle, and an expert forager, capable of thriving on scraps and whatever it could find in the woods. These compact black pigs provided families with lard for cooking and high-quality meat for the table. As industrial farming expanded, the guinea hog fell out of favor. Large-scale operations demanded massive, fast-growing pigs, leaving the small, slow-maturing guinea hog behind. By the 1980s, the breed was nearly extinct, with just a handful of purebred animals remaining, scattered across a few small farms. A small group of dedicated farmers decided to bring the guinea hog back. They appreciated its self-sufficiency and the exceptional quality of its meat. The revival has been a stunning success. The American guinea hog is now celebrated in the world of high-end cuisine. Its meat is dark, tender, and beautifully marbled, and its fat produces a creamy, delicious lard. Chefs at farm-to-table restaurants pay top dollar for it, with some cuts selling for over $25 a pound. What began as a humble homesteader's pig is now a gourmet delicacy, celebrated in farm-to-table cuisine. Yet some breeds were hidden far from farms, surviving in the wild where few expected them. This is the story of the San Clemente Island goat. For over a century, these goats lived wild on a rocky, windswept island off the coast of California. They are thought to be descendants of goats brought to the island by Spanish missionaries in the 19th century. Living in isolation, they evolved into a unique breed, smaller and more deer-like than other goats, perfectly adapted to the harsh island environment. Their existence was peaceful until the 1970s, when the U.S. Navy, which owns the island, decided the goats were destroying the native ecosystem. An eradication program began, and thousands of goats were removed. The breed was on the verge of being wiped out forever, but a last-minute rescue effort by the Livestock Conservancy saved a small group of them. These rescued goats became the founders of a new population. The San Clemente goat is now seen as a rescue success. They are valued for their hardiness, gentle nature, and efficiency in clearing brush. Because their genetics are so unique, breeding stock is incredibly valuable to conservationists and farmers looking to strengthen the hardiness of their own herds. A single goat can sell up to $2,500, a high price for a creature that was once considered a pest. And while these goats found a second chance, across the ocean, a royal horse was waiting for its own dramatic rescue. The Cleveland Bay horse is England's oldest breed of horse, a majestic and powerful animal with a history stretching back to the Middle Ages. Originally bred as a pack horse in the Cleveland district of Yorkshire, it became an ultimate all-purpose horse. It plowed fields, pulled carriages, and carried riders into battle. Its strength, stamina, and gentle temperament made it a favorite of the royal family, which used them to pull the royal coaches. But the 20th century was not kind to the Cleveland Bay. Like the Poitou donkey, it faced a sharp decline when machines took over farm work. The rise of the automobile and tractor made them redundant. After World War II, the breed was so rare that its survival depended on a single, aging stallion. The future looked bleak. The breed was saved by none other than Queen Elizabeth II. In 1962, she learned that the last purebred Cleveland Bay stallion in England was about to be sold to a buyer in the United States. She stepped in and bought the stallion, saving it for the nation. Her intervention reignited interest in the breed, sparking a slow but steady recovery. Pure Cleveland Bays are rare and worth a lot again, with foals selling for over $10,000. This royal horse survived thanks to a queen's intervention. Yet not every breed was saved in palaces. Some endured quietly on forgotten farms across the Atlantic. The Randall Lineback is a breed of cattle known for its striking black and white pattern with a white line running down its back. These cattle were once a common sight on New England farms, descended from the all-purpose cattle brought over by early English settlers. They were valued for their ability to thrive in the harsh northern climate, providing families with milk, meat, and draft power. But in the 20th century, farmers began to specialize, choosing breeds that excelled at producing either milk or beef, but not both. The versatile Randall Lineback fell out of favor. By the 1980s, the breed was thought to be extinct, but then a discovery was made. On a remote farm in Vermont, a small, isolated herd of these cattle had survived, owned by the Randall family, who had kept them pure for over 80 years. This single herd was all that was left of the entire breed. A frantic conservation effort began to save them. That effort has transformed the Randall Lineback from a forgotten relic into a culinary treasure. Their beef is lean, finely textured, and has a complex flavor that is highly sought after by high-end restaurants. The meat is so exclusive it commands over $30 a pound, turning this New England survivor into one of America's most profitable heritage breeds. Yet heritage value isn't always measured in meat. Some animals, like the Jacob sheep, are celebrated for their striking appearance and ancient lineage. The Jacob sheep is one of the most visually stunning sheep breeds, with a black and white spotted fleece and, most remarkably, 4 horns. Some rams can even have up to 6 horns. Their origins are ancient and shrouded in mystery. They are mentioned in the book of Genesis, which describes how Jacob took all the spotted and speckled sheep from his father-in-law's flock. For centuries, these unique sheep were kept on large estates and country parks in England, more as ornamental animals than for their agricultural value. But as these large estates were broken up, the Jacob sheep lost its home. By the mid-20th century, the breed was rare. It was their unusual appearance that saved them. A growing community of hand spinners and weavers fell in love with their multicolored fleece. Unlike most sheep, which have a single colored fleece, the Jacob provides black and white wool from a single animal. This natural colored wool is highly sought after by artisans who pay a premium for it. Jacob's lean, mild-flavored meat is also gaining popularity. This ancient, multi-horned sheep, once kept as a state ornament, has found new purpose and a new generation of admirers. Across the Irish Sea, another ancient cattle breed was quietly fighting its way back from the brink. The Irish Moiled is one of the most distinctive native Irish cattle breeds. The name Moiled comes from the Gaelic word meal, which means bald and refers to the dome shape of their head and their lack of horns. For hundreds of years, these dual-purpose cattle were the backbone of small farms in Ireland, providing both milk and beef. They were known for their ability to thrive on poor pasture and in harsh weather. In the 1900s, this native cow nearly disappeared. Their numbers plummeted. By the 1970s, the breed had been reduced to fewer than 30 breeding females, kept in 2 small herds in Northern Ireland. It was one of the rarest cattle breeds in the world. A small group of dedicated breeders formed the Irish Moiled Cattle Society and began a careful breeding program. Their work has been incredibly successful. Today, the Irish Moiled is prized for its premium beef, renowned for its tender texture and subtle, distinctive flavor. It has even earned a protected geographical indication, ensuring only beef from purebred Irish Moiled cattle carries the name. This designation has turned it into a premium product sought after by chefs and consumers willing to pay for its unique taste and heritage. Just when you think you've seen it all, there's one final animal that looks nothing like what you'd expect. The Mangalitsa pig of Hungary is often called the woolly pig or the sheep pig for good reason. It is covered in a thick, curly coat of hair that resembles a sheep's fleece. This remarkable pig was bred for the royal families of the Austro-Hungarian Empire in the 19th century. Its fat was so valued that it was considered a delicacy. In the 1900s, demand shifted to leaner pork and the Mangalitsa nearly vanished. Fewer than 200 Mangalitsa pigs remained in Hungary. It was on the verge of extinction, so a Hungarian geneticist, Peter Tott, decided to save them. He began buying up the last remaining pigs and started a breeding program. At the same time, chefs in Europe and America were rediscovering the value of high-quality lard and marbled meat. The Mangalitsa was the perfect animal for this culinary renaissance. Its meat is incredibly rich and flavorful, often described as the Kobe beef of pork. Its fat is softer and melts at a lower temperature than that of other pigs, making it perfect for cooking. A single kilogram of cured Mangalitsa ham can sell for over $100, and a breeding pig can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Once dismissed as unwanted, the woolly Mangalitsa has risen to reign as the undisputed king of pork. In a world of industrial agriculture, these heritage breeds offer a connection to the past and a blueprint for a more diverse and flavorful future. Saved from extinction by a handful of dedicated visionaries, these breeds are no longer fading relics. They are thriving, turning small farmers into stewards of living treasures and symbols of endurance. Which of these forgotten farm animals surprised you the most? Tell us in the comments below. This is Stellar Eureka, signing off.